When the giant had finished his breakfast, he pushed his plate aside and said to his wife,
"Bring me my hen."
She put the hen on the table in front of him, and the giant said gruffly,
"Lay."
Immediately the hen laid a beautiful golden egg. Jack could hardly believe his eyes. Very soon the giant's head fell forward, and the whole castle began to tremble with his enormous snores. Jack crept out from his hiding place, and tucking the hen under his arm, he made a run for it. Unfortunately, the hen clucked, and the giant woke from his sleep.
"Where's my hen?"
Jack heard him roar, but he didn't stop to find out what would happen next. He ran as fast as he could to the beanstalk, and holding on tight to the hen, he scampered down. Jack rushed into the house with the hen. His mother looked a bit disappointed. A hen wasn't as useful to her as a bag of gold coins. "What have you got there?" she asked Jack. "I hope this isn't another of your silly schemes." But Jack just put the magic hen on the table and said, "Lay!" And the hen laid another golden egg. His mother was delighted. With this clever magic hen, they need never have any worries again. So Jack and his mother lived very comfortably, selling the golden eggs that the magic hen laid whenever they needed to. But one day, Jack woke up feeling very bored indeed. "Just one more trip to the giant's castle," he thought to himself. So off he went, climbing up and up the beanstalk. When Jack got to the castle this time, he didn't announce his arrival. Instead, he crept inside, making sure neither the giant nor his wife saw him, and hid inside one of the pans on the kitchen table. The castle began to shake, and in came the giant.
"Fee, fi, fo, fum,"
he began.
"I'm sure I can smell a tasty little boy,"
he said to his wife.
"Oh, well, if it's that cheeky little boy who came and took your bag of gold and magic hen, I know where he'll be hiding."
She took the giant straight to the fireplace, but Jack was nowhere to be found.
"I know there's a boy in here somewhere,"
growled the giant.
"And when I find him, I'm going to have him on toast for my breakfast."
They hunted high and low, but luckily they didn't look in the pan. Eventually, the giant's wife persuaded him to give up the search and sit down and have his breakfast. Even while he was eating, the giant kept getting to his feet and wandering around the kitchen, looking in the cupboards and under the table and muttering under his breath,
"Fee, fi, fo, fum."
He was so sure he could smell a little boy somewhere in the room. When the giant had finished his breakfast, he fetched a harp to the table. This was a very special harp. When the giant said,
"Sing,"
the harp sang him the most beautiful tune that Jack had ever heard. Very soon, the giant's head was nodding, and he began to snore loudly. Jack had decided that he was going to take the magic harp with him when he left this time. The giant was snoring so loudly, the table was shaking as Jack crawled out of the pan. Jack crept across the table, and after picking up the magic harp, he made a run for it. But as Jack was heading for the door, the harp cried out loudly,
"Master! Master!"
The giant's eyes snapped open.
"What?"
bellowed the giant. Then he spotted Jack running for the door. The giant staggered to his feet, and a bowl of fruit and a mug crashed to the floor as the giant chased Jack across the room. Jack ran as fast as he could. Every time he looked back, the angry giant was right behind him.
"Come back with my harp,"
shouted the giant. But when he added,
"I'll have your bones to grind my bread,"
that just made Jack run faster. Down the long road ran Jack. When he reached the top of the beanstalk, he slung the harp onto his shoulder and swung himself down onto the stalk. He was climbing down as fast as he could. He looked back up, and he could see the giant hesitating at the top of the beanstalk. The giant was thinking that the beanstalk didn't look strong enough for his great weight, and perhaps he would give up the chase. But at that very moment, the harp cried out again,
Master! Master!
The giant swung his great body onto the beanstalk and climbed down after Jack. Jack could see his mother's garden just below him, but he could also see the giant's huge feet just above his head. As he got near to the bottom, he began to call out,
Mother! Mother! Bring me the axe!
His mother ran out with the axe just as Jack reached the bottom. She was terrified. She looked up into the sky and saw the giant's legs just showing through the clouds. Jack took the axe from his mother and gave a great chop to the beanstalk. The stalk shuddered. Then with one more hefty blow, Jack chopped the beanstalk clean in two. Down came the beanstalk and down crashed the giant with it. The giant was dead, and Jack and his mother were safe. Jack and his mother became very rich and famous. Jack married a beautiful princess, and they all lived happily ever after.